Hare Krishna, everyone.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, everyone.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, everybody.
Mataji.
So, what are we doing today?
Recap.
A recap, okay, of the two books,
Yeah.
NOI and ISO Overview. Okay. Yeah, we'll begin. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namah Om Vishnupadaya Krishnaprishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamini Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatade Shatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaurabhattarinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Okay. Yeah, yesterday I had shared the presentations with you. Hope you all have seen them.
Yeah. Thank you, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji, thank you.
Okay. So others, please take a look at your in emails. It's been shared on your drives, Google Drives. Okay. So yeah, I think we can go over the NOI from there. I don't have all the verses covered in NOI. I think probably 7 I did. After that, we just read the purports. And in the Isha Upanishad also, I have only from the 13th books. I don't know, somewhere in the middle. We can just go over the overview from there and see how it goes. If you have any questions, this is your chance. So I'm trying to get the document.
Mataji, where did you share the files?
I shared it. If you had shared your email ID with Haladini Gopika Mataji at some point, I got it from her and I shared it to those emails.
Okay, because I didn't get it to my email.
Yeah, you have to share your email with me, then I can do that.
Okay, thank you, Mataji.
Okay, so nectar of instruction. You guys are preparing for the test as well, I think. So nectar of instruction is one of our scriptures, Gaudiya Vaishnava scripture, written by Srila Rupa Goswami under the direct order of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Rupa Goswami is one of the foremost acharyas of the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan. There are 6 Goswamis in Vrindavan that we are very prominently aware of, which is Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, Jiva Goswami, Gopal Bhatta Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami, and Raghunatha Bhatta Goswami. So each one is permanent for their own service to the movement of Gaudiya Vaishnavism and to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu specifically gave these 6 Goswamis instructions to propagate the teachings of Lord Shri Krishna and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and excavate the lost pastime sites of Shri Krishna when he was in the Baumalila in Vrindavan, and also write literature that can enhance the propagation of Krishna consciousness throughout the whole world. So those are the 3 services that were given to the six Goswamis, and each one took upon themselves in their own unique way, and also reinstate the deity worship as well as that. Deity worship was always there, but then each devotee, each Goswami had their own, most of the Goswamis had their own deities, so they could propagate the worship of those deities. So that is, Rupa Goswami wrote these books and various other literature. So we can just go over the initial verses that we saw, as well as the section breakdown from Nectar of Instruction. And if you have any questions, we'll take it over. Let's start with this prayer, because this is the prayer we say when we recite the Goswami's literature. Nana Shastra Vicharinaik Nipanau Saddharma Samstapakau Lokanam Hitakarinam Tribhuvane Manyam Sharanyakarau Radha Krishna Padaravinda Bhajana Nande Namattalikau Vande Rupa Sanatanau Raghuyugau Shri Jiva Gopalakau. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the six Goswamis, namely Shri Rupa Goswami, Shri Sanatan Goswami, Shri Raghunatha Bhatta Goswami, Shri Raghunath Das Goswami, Shri Jiva Goswami, and Shri Gopal Bhatta Goswami, who are very expert in scrutinizingly studying all the revealed scriptures with the aim of establishing eternal religious principles for the benefit of all human beings. Thus, they are honored all over the three worlds, and they are worth taking shelter of, because they are absorbed in the mood of the gopis and are engaged in the transcendental loving service of Radha and Krishna. So, internal reasons why Lord Chaitanya appeared, we saw them. It is to understand Radha's love for Krishna and release the love that she experiences and the happiness that she derives, and the sweetness of her love for him. So those are the internal reasons, and external reasons were also there when Lord Chaitanya, before the descent of Lord Chaitanya, Sri Advaita Acharya prayed for him, looking at how the people are degrading in the upcoming generation. He called out for Krishna very, very intently, and prayed to Saligram Shila as well by offering Ganges water and tulsi leaves. And this is the external reasons for, and hearing his pleas, hearing his calls, Lord Chaitanya descended. So when Lord Chaitanya descended, he is the main trunk root, and he spread his branches throughout the Gaudiya as well as throughout India. And each branch is taken over by one of his main associates. The main associates of Vrindavan, that of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, are the Panchatatvas. Apart from Mahaprabhu, we have Sri Nityananda Prabhu, Advaita Acharya, Gadadhar Pandit, and Shivas Thakur. When we say Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Shivas Adhikar Bhaktamana. So these are the associates. As well as more intimate associates of Mahaprabhu are Sarup Damodar Goswami and Ramananda Raya. So, and from there, the entire propagation of this devotional creeper happened, and we read through that analogy. So, Rupa Goswami sketch also we have seen, but we will not go into the details of that. We directly get into the Upadeshamrita at a glance. So there are 11 verses in this short booklet. It is not an elaborate book, very compact short verses, so that one can, from very beginning stages, can make progress from that very initial stages when they are very grossly situated with the gross tendencies. From there, if they apply these principles and diligently follow what Sri Rupa Goswami is telling, they make their way all the way up to Krishna Prema. If you diligently apply these principles. So, in the beginning, we have the things that have to be avoided and some things that have to be adopted, and how to develop a mood that we can reside in places of worship, Braja, and within Braja, various places like Govardhan, Radhakund, like that. So the things that have to be avoided, which are unfavorable for bhakti, are 6 in numbers. The 6 is a very prominent. There are 6 urges that we have to avoid, the 6 vices that we have to give up, 6 virtues we have to cultivate, and 6 loving exchanges that we have to cultivate. So these are the 6 batches of 4 batches of 6 that we get. So the avoiding things are the urges. When the mind's pushings come, pushing of the mind, the pushing of the speech, the anger, and the hankerings of the tongue, belly, and genitals, these have to be controlled. These are the 6 urges of mind, speech, anger, tongue, belly, and genitals. What is the verse?
Vacho Begam Mataji.
Yeah, please recite.
Vacho Begam Manasakroda Ekam Jidva Vedam Udara Pastu Vedam Etan Vedam Vishayeta Diraha Sarva Apinam. I'm forgetting the word Mataji. Sarva Mapinam
Prithvimsa.
Shishyat.
Yeah. So one who can control the urges of his mind, speech, anger, tongue, belly, and genitals, can make disciples all over the world. So it is can make, you don't have to, but one who can control, and if they're able to control themselves within these 6 places, they are eligible to make disciples all over the world. So each one of us can become a spiritual master if you are able to do. You don't have to. That's why it's said that you can. They can make disciples. It's not necessarily everyone makes disciples. But the minimum qualification to start off is very gross things have to be controlled. When the mind pushes with some things that we are going hankering here and there, we are able to control speech. Speech is the greatest thing that it's hard to control, right? We just blurt out things when we are angry. We just don't know what we are saying. But if we are able to recognize that happening with us, and we're able to control the speech and the anger is like, it shoots quickly, very quickly it shoots. Other things like tongue, belly, and genitals might take time. You contemplate on the food, and then you want to eat, and then you need to make a plan to go to some place to figure out where they are giving those things that we can eat. So the other things will take time. Planning is required. But for anger, it doesn't. Just happens in seconds. You just have to become angry and you are angered already. So if we can control those, that's the starting point. Then after that, we saw there are 6 vices which have to be avoided as well, which is overeating, over endeavoring, talking uselessly, and improperly applicants with scriptural rules, improperly applying the scriptural rules, bad association, and greed. These are the things we have to avoid. What is the verse? So the 6 vices: overeating. Overeating in terms of with all the senses, not just with the tongue. Anything that we do, overeating with any other sense as well. Over accumulation, over fantasizing, over fantasizing itself is bad. Over is even worse. So eating is one thing, but then anything related to that, any other sense also is atyahar. Prayasa is over endeavoring. We over endeavoring happens with any other sense, like over endeavoring in terms of not just to accumulate wealth, but to accumulate books of various subjects, and knowledge, endeavoring to get some knowledge, so many degrees, so that we can show to the world that we are qualified, like that kind of over endeavoring, and working more so we can get more money. So what is the result? To enjoy more. So these are the over endeavoring tendencies. Then talking unnecessarily. It's like croaking of a toad. croaking of a toad only invites its death, because it's when it is croaking of a frog, it only invites the snake to know where its location and will eat. So useless talk is like that. So don't open your mouth. A fool is not revealed until he opens his mouth. So once you open your mouth, you know how foolish one is. So we should not talk unnecessarily to expose ourselves. Then scriptures have to be applied in a proper way, coming from the spiritual masters and the teachers. If you apply these rules for some other way, like to get some benefit, that is niyamagraha, niyama agraha and niyamagraha. Overly following scriptural rules and regulations and denying the rules and regulations. Both of them are not conducive for devotional service. Then bad association is because that is a starting point of all these 6 vices and urges to develop is coming from the bad association. If you associate with devotees, you develop devotee-like qualities. If you associate with drunkards, you will become a drunkard. If you associate with a smoker, you can stand near the smokers for some days, you will also start smoking. Because instead of getting that vapors, you better smoke so that you can also give it up. So in that way, association acts it's a very powerful thing. That's why we stress on devotee association. At least there is something that comes out. At least you'll become rejuvenated, if not much, in the association, because you chant and you glorify the Lord. That itself is strength giving. So that is bad association. Bad association is the foremost thing. From there, everything else comes. And the greed is unnecessary. Greed is lust, which is becoming greedy for things. So those are the 6 vices that one has to avoid. Then coming to the adoption of the few favorable things. The 6 in numbers are becoming enthusiastic, determination, patience, prescribed practices, avoiding bad association, and following the acharyas. What is the verse? You all have read these verses and given the test.
Is it Pratyahara Prayasascha? That's the second one.
Did you not write the exam, give the test?
Oh, I did. Yeah, the next one I think was Utsaha Nishchayad, right? That one?
Dharma Pavartanat, right? Is that it? Shringha Tiragat Sadgo Sato Vrita Sadhir Bhaktir Prasadyati.
Everyone else? Anybody else knows it complete? Are you okay?
Nobody, I can
I
decide.
think it's Utsaha Nishchayad Dhairyat Tat Karma Pravartanat Sangatyagat Satto Vritti Sadhi Bhakti Prasiddhyati.
Good. Okay. So utsahan, enthusiasm. Determination is having that faith or diligently pursuing through it with determination. Patience is having the confidence and having complete faith in the Lord that it will happen. So those are the things that we have to cultivate. These are very important ones. It's an art. This shows the determination. These virtues actually define a devotee. Because you need to be very enthusiastic, you need to be very determined, at the same time cultivate patience. Now, tell me, how is this going to happen? Enthusiasm means you're enthusiastic to do anything, just go getting things. That is enthusiasm. Now, if you're asked to become patient at the same time, how is it going to work? It looks like they are contradicting, but they are not. This is the virtue that devotees have to develop. Devotees have to be very patient, that knowing that the Lord will fulfill their desires. They should be very determined on this path without losing hope. They should be continuing with steadfastness, that's determination, all the while being enthusiastic. So that's an art. It comes with the application. It comes with practice. It comes with diligently following the scriptural rules and regulations and Acharya's teachings. So that's enthusiasm. So it comes with this. These 3 are very important, and this is the virtues that devotee should cultivate. And avoiding bad association, we also saw that in giving up, which is unfavorable. This is now favorable. Like one is to accept, one is to reject. This one is to accept because we are accepting the avoidance of bad association. The earlier one was we were avoiding bad association. So that's where the difference is. One is saying it in positively, saying it in negatively. So always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. Like that. Always remember Krishna is give up bad association. Never forget Krishna is avoid bad association. Like that. So avoiding bad association and following the acharyas. Sato vritti. We need to follow the acharyas. Whatever acharyas have laid out as a path, we need to follow that. And not imitate them. Imitation is dangerous. We need to follow in their footsteps. We cannot imitate Haridas Thakur chanting 198 rounds per day. Not possible for us. We can decide some number, follow in the similar mood that he has done, like without for completing all his rounds, he would not take a morsel. Such things we can follow in the footsteps, but not we cannot imitate. Acharyas are fasting on every Ekadashi. Acharyas are going and doing Dandavat Parikramas. All that is something that we need to follow based on how much is our capacity and where do we stand. So that's following the Acharyas. Then the 6 loving exchanges have to be cultivated. Which are they? Come on, guys.
ददाति प्रतिगृह्णाति गुह्यम् अख्याति प्रयच्छति भुङ्क्ते भोजते चैव सत्पदं प्रीतिलक्षणम्.
Thank you. Looks like you only know the verses and some others, not everyone. You guys have all given the exams, right? Or you just want to hear in the autopilot mode today? Okay. The 6 loving exchanges are exchanging gifts, sharing hearts and feeling love, feeding one another and revealing one's mind. That point is gone. Revealing one's mind in confidence. So what are the 6 loving exchanging? Gifts. Dadati pradigranati. Oh, spelling mistakes.
Giving charity, accepting charity.
Yeah. Sorry, there are some spelling mistakes in the PDF, so ignore those. Exchange of gifts, sharing, exchanging gifts and receiving. Yeah, give gifts, receive gifts. Give prasadam, share, accept prasadam. Share heart. Reveal your mind in confidence. Hear from someone in confidence. Those are the ones where more more love develops. Other ones can cultivate, but if you start revealing your mind in confidence to someone, then more love develops. And this has to be cultivated only among devotees. If you start doing with other people, then you become binded as well there. And that's very hard for the path for progressing on the spiritual journey. It becomes an impediment. So we should be very carefully choosing which are the people who are sharing these exchanges, loving exchanges with. Then we came across the number 5th verse, which is appropriately accepting the devotee, respecting them, respecting the devotees very appropriately. Anybody knows the verse?
I know the verse, I'm just not really good with Sanskrit. Pransiyasa giritam manastriyat. Yeah, I'm not going to read it but I know it.
Okay, anybody wants to try?
It's just one should mentally honor the devotee who chants the holy name of Lord Krishna.
कृष्णेति यस्य गिरितं मनसाद्रियेत दीक्षास्ति चेत् प्रणतिभिश्च भजन्तमीशं शुश्रूषया भजन विज्ञमनन्यमन्या निन्दाति शून्यहृदमुक्षितसम्बलभ्या. So we should honor the devotees as per their we should respect the devotees. And how we should respect the devotees? And mentally honor one who chants. When one becomes a devotee, we should honor each and everyone. Respect goes for everyone because respect goes for the soul, not to the body. So we have to respect the soul. We have to respect everyone. For the devotees, they are in a special category. So we need to honor them, at least in the mind, if they're chanting Krishna's names. One should offer obeisances to the devotee who has undergone spiritual initiation, who has taken Diksha and engaged in the worship. And one should associate faithfully and thus serve the pure devotee who is advanced in undeviated devotional service and whose heart is completely devoid of the propensity to criticize others. So, one who has given up the propensity to criticize others is a pure devotee. Others are all struggling devotees, coming to the point, Madhyama and Kanishta. So, if you can look at these devotees and honor them as per their adhikar, that is very important. And with the pure when the Kanishta, Madhyama, Uttama, these are three categories of the devotees themselves. Kanishta devotees are who are novice, beginners. We should also honor them. Madhyama are the ones who are trying to get over their anarthas, read the scripture, associate with the devotees. Those are the people who are trying to follow and get to the point of pure devotional service. So Madhyamas they also look at the devotees in four categories. One is for the like-minded, similar category, they develop the 6 loving exchanges. With the beginners, they become very compassionate. People who are innocent, we are very compassionate. With the pure devotees, we serve them, approach them, inquire from them, serve them. And with the atheists or the envious people, we stay away from them. So that's what Madhyama devotees do. And pure devotees, they don't differentiate. And they are always thinking everyone is a soul. And they all operate on the level of soul. So those are the 3 types of devotees. And then we saw another verse which talks about 6th verse, which is Brishte Svabhava Janiter Vapushascha Josher Na Prakritim Na Prakritatvam Iha Bhajan Bhakta Janasya Pashed Ganga Basam Nakalu Vadbuta Vena Panker Brahma Dravantam Apagachati Niradharmaya. Being situated in his original Krishna conscious position, a pure devotee does not identify with the body. Such a devotee should not be seen from a materialistic point of view. Instead, one should overlook a devotee as having a body born in a low family, a body with a bad complexion, a deformed body, or a diseased or infirm body. According to ordinary vision, such imperfections may seem prominent in the body of a pure devotee, but despite such seeming defects, the body of a pure devotee cannot be polluted. It is exactly like the waters of the Ganges, which sometimes during the rainy season are full of bubbles, foam, and mud. The Ganges waters do not become polluted. Those who are advanced in spiritual understanding will bathe in the Ganges without considering condition of the water. So, in the purport translation. So, 6th verse talks about we should not go by the external appearance of a devotee. If we have an external vision, it is a materialistic vision. If we carry that, we're going to look at devotees from their external angle only, because of the perception we carry, not because of them. So, what is a materialistic vision of someone? That you look at their body, their color, their birth, and like look at them in a separated way. So that is materialistic vision. Instead, devotees who are pure devotees or practicing devotees, pure devotees, they go beyond the bodily conception. So we need to look at from their purity, from their devotion to Lord Krishna, rather than from which country they are coming, what is their color, if there are any deformity in the body. We should not consider those. That shows your only materialistic vision if we do that. And it is just like the Ganges water, which becomes muddy during the rainy season. Still, Ganges water is pure. You can still take bath in it. Even though it is muddy it's only time being it becomes muddy, but it is pure. Similarly, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 9:30, 9:31, where he says, Apiche Suddurachara. Sometimes the devotees may commit some seemingly offenses. Apiche Sudduracharo bhajate mamana neba sadhure ma samantavya samyak vyavasito hi saha. And then he follows that. So sometimes the devotees may commit some abominable activity accidentally, not intentionally, accidentally. So what happens? We should not judge them by that. We should not carry materialistic vision. Give them the benefit out of it. They are on the path. They are following Krishna's instructions and their Guru's instructions. Their purification is going to happen. Leave it up to them and Krishna. We are no way to judge them and change our opinion about them. That's dangerous. If we change our opinion because they have done some seemingly mistake, we become implicated. That's materialistic vision. So we should avoid that. It is between them and Krishna. Krishna is in full capacity to take care of them, address their shortcomings if any, rectify them, protect them, take care of them. So we are in no way. If we poke our heads in that and start judging people based on what they do externally, we become implicated and our devotional creeper will fall. So we should take, first foremost important thing is we need to take care of ourselves, not try to preach others first. Take care of your own devotional creeper. Then once you are strong enough, you can take care of others' devotional creepers. And you can only judge correct people only if you are in the capacity. When do we get the capacity? When we are parents to someone, we have full capacity and responsibility to do that, to correct them. If you are the teacher, they are coming to you for some studies. And if you are the spiritual master, you have all authority and rights to correct them, not otherwise. You can pray if you see something seemingly mistakes, you can pray. That way your own devotion is increasing, you're offering some benefit to the others. So that is where we should not avoid those and cultivate some things which are favorable. When we keep on doing in this way, following the urges, giving up the urges and vices, cultivating virtues and loving exchanges, respecting the devotees according to their adhikar, and not seeing the devotees from the external vision, in that consciousness, you can continuously chant the holy name of the Lord. And there it awakens, because when you are following things, your mind is satisfied, you are peaceful. When you are peaceful, you can chant Krishna's names in a more, we can call out Krishna's name intently in that state, because there is no impediment for you. You can experience that. When you do all these things, your calling out for Krishna's names becomes more eager, more in a petition way. It becomes very, you can even see the difference. It becomes very touchy for yourself as well. So in that state, you can awaken the taste for Krishna's chanting Krishna's holy name. What is the verse? Chat Krishna Nama Charitadi Sitapa Vidya Pito Patapta Rasanasya Narochikano Kintvadarada Dinam Kalusaiva Jushva Swati Kramad Bhavati Tatkadamoya Hantri. So in those consciousness, even though we don't have taste, if we continue to chant the holy name of the Lord, you will surely awaken the taste. Just like when in the diseased condition of jaundice, we don't experience any taste. Everything is bitter. But the only remedy for jaundice, they say, is to give the sweet candy. Not anything that you buy from the store, but sugar candy made in certain way. The sugar juice boiled and made into candy. Boiled it to so much extent that becomes like candy. Sticky, gooey, but it becomes like a candy. So that is the sugar candy that has to be taken. When that is taken, the jaundice will go. Similarly, we chant the holy name of the Lord in the beginning. It becomes very like eating some no taste, distasteful. This is not something new or unique that we experience. It is generally people experience because there is no taste. But the taste awakens. because you are following the teachings and you're chanting. When that happens, the taste awakens and you don't want to stop chanting. You can continue to chant for a long, more number of hours. And you can also decide the number and chant. So that is how the chanting works. And then if you continue to chant the holy name of the Lord, you follow the Raganuga sadhana bhakti. It happens at some point. Raganuga is spontaneously you're doing devotional service. Scriptural rules and regulations we do follow, but the spontaneity increases in the devotee. We are not no more bonded by the time, place, circumstance. You're going somewhere, you become enthusiastic, you chant the holy name. Anyway, so I'll leave it up there, how it will manifest on each devotee. This is something the devotees are to experience from here onwards. It's not much, we can only give the theoretical understanding as to how it happens, but everything it's very personal. One has to experience these things. Raganuga Bhakti and Ragatmika Bhakti. When you follow the footsteps of a devotee in Vrindavan, in Bhama Vrindavan and in Goloka Vrindavan. So that's a very, very high elevated position. It takes long time to get. So when you are experiencing that, you can live in any place in Braja. In Govardhan, Radhakund is the most dear place for the devotees because it's the most dear place for Krishna, because it is the place of Srimati Radha. And bathing there and taking shelter of Radharani is the topmost thing. Although at our stage, because we have not yet developed the Raganuga Bhakti or Ragatmika Bhakti, we are recommended not to indulge in these things as a Gaudiya Vaishnavas following the teachings of Srila Prabhupada. Because we are not only Gaudiya Vaishnavas, we are also Prabhupada Anugas. We follow the teachings of Prabhupada. So we need to respect what our own teachers are teaching. If your spiritual master tells you, you can bathe in Radhakund, please go ahead and do. If your spiritual master does not tell you that, then we should refrain from that. And these are the topics that one has to experience by performing devotional service. So we don't have a lot of experience in that to share. We just know this is what it is. Okay, so this is in nutshell the Upadeshamrita Overview. Any questions? Or anyone wants to share their reflections in reading this book? Anyone?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes.
I found the nectar of devotion, nectar of instruction to be very, very to the point, but also not in a harsh way, right? And also I found while I was reading it, I found even in myself, my heart changing and softening, just through the words of the acharyas. It's an interesting feeling.
Very nice.
Yeah.
It happens. When you read, it is like you're in awe of these teachings. When the first time, like you probably don't know all this, but then you're getting to know it. Like it's such mind opening, heart opening, and yeah, thanks for sharing that experience. Anyone else? How many of you have read Upadeshamrita only as part of this study? Or did you know this book exists only now or before? Let's start. Tanika, please start.
Mataji, like with this book, I knew it existed before, but I had not read it until this course. And I just wanted to share a reflection real quick when you were asking if someone else had a reflection. I mean, when I read the purports of Nectar of Instructions, I feel that it's very, I find them to be very dense and for a good reason because it's Nectar of Instructions. It very specifically tells you do this, don't do that. I mean, whether it was Bhagavad Gita or any other book, I felt like there was a lot of room for like flexibility. If you can't do this, try that. If you can't do that, try this. But Nectar of Instructions, like the more you read it, the more it's like it tells you very specifically that if you want to progress in sadhana, do this and don't do that. I guess that's why it's called instructions. So it was very, I would say, very much needed, like awakening for me, that it very specifically lays down the rules.
Right. Yeah. So it's very instructive, very to the point. It's a roadmap. You just, because the roadmap is there, we just have to follow the roadmap. Yeah, and other books, yeah, you have some leeway. Krishna gives some leeway in Bhagavad Gita for devotional service. You are not this, do bhakti. If you cannot do bhakti yoga, do karma yoga, jnana yoga, other yogas. But finally, he proposes bhakti yoga. But all the people can come. But here it is very straightforward. You just have to do these things because this is where the place of reach. Your goal is not become stuck in some place. Your goal is to reach Radhapur. Thanks for sharing that, Kanika. Next, Shakti Mataji, thank you. Priyanka, you have anything to share?
It's my first time as well reading Mataji. I've heard of the book but never read it. Yes, like Kanika Mataji said, it's very instructive, it's good, but it's a beautiful self-reflection also. Like,
Your voice
you
is
get to watch.
mumbling. Can you slow a bit down and speak a little up, maybe?
Sure, Mataji. Am I audible now?
Yes.
Okay, it's the first time that even I am reading this book. I did not know about it previously, but it's a beautiful book. Like Kanika Mataji said, very instructive. But it's also a great reflection of where we stand and what we should do in order to grow in our path. Right? When we, see devotees, others, then how do we react and respond with them? How do we have those loving exchanges with them? What are the best things we can do? Sometimes we visit dhams, but we don't know what to do there.
Sounds
Right?
like
So this
somebody,
book helps us.
Priyanka, somebody's not unmuted. There's sounds coming. We're not able to hear you clearly. At least I'm not.
I think Priyanka Mataji is in some place where there's some background.
Yeah, Mataji, sorry, I'm outside. Yes, sorry.
Yeah, but good. Thanks for sharing whatever you are sharing, even in spite of the situation. It's very nice, very enthusiastic of doing that. Thank you, Priyanka. Bigyan Prabhu?
Hare Krishna. So, yeah, it is a very practical book when I read first time. So, it it was I was able to implement. Actually, it could be implemented not only in among the devotees or association of the Krishna consciousness practitioners, but with any person. So when we apply these principles, it's very good to maintain the relation, to have a better relation. That way, they can also get attracted to Krishna consciousness. That was what I felt when I first read this book, and yeah, every time it can be implemented. It's very practical.
Yeah, it's very practical.
Yeah.
We can apply that. If you apply the six loving exchanges outside, then just be aware of that. But otherwise, if you develop these things, people are noticing that in you, it's a good example you're setting in the outside culture, in the outside association. Thanks for that, Prabhu. Srinivas Prabhu and Hema Mataji, we'd like to hear from both of you.
Hare Krishna Mataji. This book is, I think, is very prominent, and it is very important for a devotee to always to look time to time, to also look, because in the process of spiritual practices, sometimes, like, whenever we are finding something is not going in the way we're supposed to go, like that, then it's like a ready reckoner. First of all, it's instructive how we have to do it, and time to time, like whenever we are finding any difficulties, then it will immediately give us a pinpointedly tells where, what, why, and also how to improve, or how to go back, or how to further progress. So I feel like this is one of the most important books for application for daily practices, and also to progress in our spiritual life. And this is very valuable, and And obviously, Mataji, these classes helped a lot, to revisit, also to deeply meditate and focus for our practices.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hema Mataji, you have to say anything?
I read this, Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. I read this before initial days of my Krishna consciousness, Mataji. That time when I studied this book, I was scared because there is a lot of information and lot to practice, but that's the realistic book, Mataji. When we first shloka, Vacho Vegam Manasaku, that's very beautiful shloka. So if we practice that shloka and we can progress in Krishna consciousness. So that I understand when I am studying first time. Yeah, that's my realization. Really, it is very instructive book and it leads us to practice good Krishna consciousness.
Thank you, Mataji. Thanks for sharing. Krishna Avatari Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Yes, this is eye opener actually for me at least. As you said that the acharyas are doing that many rounds of chanting and very strictly following the Ekadasi Vrta and all these things. But as you said, we should be in the mood of them, even though we cannot be at that stage of high level. And yeah, those different instructions what you explained also helps me understand all these Vacho Vegam, Manasa, Krodha Vegam, all those stuff. Mataji. So very valuable.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Vivek Prabhu and Karti Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Prabhu just stepped out for a minute. So yeah, so my realization, or in short, I would consider this like how Bhagavad Gita is a manual for human life. I treat this like a manual for a devotee, basically. So also like certain points which it explains in everyday life itself, I'm able to reflect where some useless talk and greed, all these kind of things, even in material life or spiritual life, it makes us think again that is this really necessary for us? Like the need and want, I'm able to differentiate that and apply it in our day-to-day activities. So yeah, it's been a really life-changing process for me from the time I started this course, and of course this book is really very practical, Mataji.
Thank you for that insight. Like how you are sharing, this book is for the devotees. Yes, this is for the devotees, Gaudiya Vaishnavas. If you are
Yes.
Gaudiya Vaishnava, this is the book for you to go the path. Yeah, otherwise Bhagavad Gita is universal, not just for Indians, one sect of religion, universal.
Yes, Mataji. Thank you,
Prabhu,
Mataji.
when he comes, please ask him to share.
Yes, Mataji.
Then we have Uma Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
So I've read NOI before Mataji, and I've also heard some series of lectures on this topic. But I think now when I did this more systematically while memorizing the shlokas, I understood the message better, and I think even in real life now, for example, an old friend calls and we are talking, then I suddenly remember, okay, this is Vacho Vegam, I should stop it here. This is not necessary talk. This is not beneficial. So yeah, now when I'm memorizing and taking this course systematically, I'm able to slowly apply it in real life.
That's very nice. Yeah. Thank you. Then Sonal Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Yes, Mataji, as everybody said, indeed the book is very practical, and I felt that in a compact way, it is giving step to step instructions on what to follow on this journey of the spiritual path. So, the lucidity of the language of the purports makes the information clear in points, and that makes it very easy to understand along with the slides that you presented. Thank you so much.
Prabhupada's repetition of the information of the messages, sorry. Prabhupada's repetition of the messages makes it sometimes repetitive, but it makes a point. So we get it in our heads. Even though there is repetition, it gets in our head. So we should be very thankful to Prabhupada that he's made the points so repeated that we are able to get it. Because when once we can't get anything. Only with repetition we get, right? So yeah, that's very important. Narnarayan Prabhu?
Hare Krishna, everyone. No, sorry, I was just trying to on unmute. So this book, I've seen this book many, many times, and it is my fault and my misfortune that I didn't read it, but it has opened so many, many doors for me. It has allowed me to see how the changes, impacted and how Srila Prabhupada put this book together word for word and show, and explain how it is that the closer you are to Krishna, how everything just keeps on, that materially it keeps on going away for its own self. And the closer you move to Krishna, oh, I have seen this book itself, I have realized how many changes has done unknowingly just serving the Lord. Just serving Krishna alone, I have seen how things just started to detach. And then I used to wonder, I used to say, well, why is this happening? What should I do? Am I doing something wrong? But then I realize now that everything, once you place your faith in Krishna and you read this book, this is a book I go recommend to anybody now because I have seen the changes that it has happened in my own life. Oh, this is beautiful. And your explanations and the way you put it together, oh, it is very, very practical. So all glories to you for this wonderful service.
All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Prabhu. Yeah, if you apply it, you will feel it. You will see the difference in your own self. Yeah. Thank you for that. Ramina Mataji?
Hare Krishna? Yeah.
Yes, we can hear you now.
Mataji, this nectar instruction, I would like to compare with one chili. There is one chili in our country. It's called Dalle Khorsani. It's very small. It's very small, but it's very spicy. So that chili can beat every other chili. So this book is like this. It has only like 11 instruction, right? 11 instruction. But this instruction, if we follow, then our life is like very successful. And like the sloka, like dadati pratigrinati, here also we apply, right? Like we invite like devotees in our home and we go to their home, and that experience is very good, Mataji. We feel very good even though we are doing simple things, just going taking prasad and offering prasad. It seems like a simple, but that makes a lot of difference. So the instruction here are very practical. um, it, it's very practical and it's very effective, Mataji. That's all. Yeah.
The heart to a person is through the stomach. You can only go to the heart via stomach. So if you share prasadam and you reach the heart, sure. Yeah. Thank you, Mataji, for that.
Thank
Is
you.
Vivek Prabhu back? Karti Mataji? Probably not. But if he is back, ask him to say something. So we'll conclude the Upadeshamrita now. We have half an hour to go to Ishopanishad. We just finished that. So, and Ishopanishad. So this is one of the Upanishads that Srila Prabhupada chose to translate into English and write and comment upon it. We saw the reasons in the beginning. Because the Vedas are also divided into two. One is the Shruti and the other is the Smriti. Shruti means it is coming by the Shabda Praman. It is coming by Shabda. Shabda is the sound. Only through sound it has come down to various disciples from the beginning. From Krishna, it came to Brahma's heart. Tene Brahma Hridaya Adikave. It was revealed in his heart. And from him, he explained it to Narada, Narada to Vyasa, and so on. At some point, because the upcoming generations are not so intelligent, they don't have time, they don't have so many resources. So Vyasadeva chose to document them in the form of the Vedas. So initially he wrote the entire knowledge into one Veda, then he divided into four, then he divided into sub branches of it, which are the Upanishads, Upavedas, and so on. And then comes the Smriti. Smriti means that comes from one's realization, the stories that they have heard, and they are adding their realizations to it. Ramayana, Mahabharata, Srimad Bhagavatam, and all the other Puranas are all part of Smriti, because some devotee is narrating always this story, and there is a message inside it. There is a pastime. They're explaining how Krishna has touched them in their lives and glorifying Krishna. It's stories of the devotees and Krishna. So that is Srimad Bhagavatam. And in the order of importance as for the scholars, they look at Shrutis are at a higher importance compared to Smritis. And they always look down upon Smritis because it's someone's realization. Shruti is coming down and there's more Vedic, it's more scholarly, and there are verses that are very scholarly verses, poetic as well as cryptic, indirect. So some people like it the way it is. So in order for Srila Prabhupada to get more prominence from the scholar population in the world, as while also establish himself as the Jagat Guru, he chose this book to write and translate Ishopanishad. It's the last book in the Upanishads and which brings one closer to the Lord. That is Upanishad. So he translated this book so that other scholars also can read it and understand it, because every page he has only talked about Krishna consciousness. Even though the verse may say directly or indirectly, Prabhupada has always made it is very direct for the readers to understand that Krishna consciousness is the goal, is the journey as well as the goal. Even though you go roundabout way, that is the place you need to come. So that's this book. Yes, Prabhu, you have a question or a comment?
Yes, Mataji, I was just not maybe paying attention. What is the difference between Smriti and Shruti? Sorry.
Shruti is coming from the sound vibration, from the Lord coming down to various acharyas. Coming down in the form of the same sound that has been given to them, the sound vibration. It's coming down based on their memory. They just remember their teachers reciting it. They also recite it and becomes in their memory. So it can be lost also, because it's only whoever can understand it, whoever can remember it, can pass it on down. Otherwise it will be lost. Smriti is after you have understood the essence, you say your own realizations. The prayers, if you see in Srimad Bhagavatam, how many prayers are there? I think there is compilation of the prayers. A lot of prayers in Srimad Bhagavatam. What are these? Someone has not told them. They recited them on their own, based on what they have understood. Right? Someone has documented for sure, but someone has already said some prayer, some glorification. So Vyasadeva has documented. It came from there. That's the difference between Shruti and Smriti.
Okay. Thank you.
In the beginning, we said this verse because this is the verse recited at the beginning of recitation of Vedas. This is a Vedic study, Ishopanishad. So we recited this verse, Om Sahana Bhavatu, Sahana Bhunaktu, Sahaviryam Karavavahe, तेजस्विनामधीतमस्तु वाद्विद्विषाभवैः Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May He protect both of us. May He nourish both of us. May we both acquire the capacity to study and understand the scriptures. May our study be brilliant. May we not argue with each other. Om peace, peace, and peace. So this is the Vedic mantra that is recited at the beginning of the class, so that the teacher and the students, they develop a relationship and seek the blessings of the Lord and continue to read and conclude their journey in the way, how much ever is the journey to that extent. So that is this mantra we recited in the very first class. We just go over this slide. We'll not go into because if we go into the details, there's never ending to this book. It can go in different ways. So Sri Ishopanishad again is also very compact book, 18 verses only, including the invocation. It is 19. So invocation, so introduction it's a definition. It's coming from Vedas, and the need to take the guidance from the Vedas. In the beginning, we learned that we have to approach the Vedas to know, because Krishna says he is the source of all the Vedas. So we have to approach Vedas, we have to take guidance from the Vedas, and because these Vedas are directly coming from the Lord. But there's a way how to approach the Vedas, right? Approach a teacher who has learned these Vedas. Approach a teacher. That we have learned that in these other verses also, right? How to, everywhere we saw that. We get to that quickly. So invocation. Invocation is the Paribhasha Sutra of a book. Paribhasha Sutra means the book that defines, the verse that defines the book. In Srimad Bhagavatam also we have the Paribhasha Sutra, which is Ete Chamsa Kala Pumsam Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam Indrari Vyakulam Lokam Mirdayanti Yuge Yuge. 1:3:41. I think. Yeah, 40 or 41. So that verse is the Paribhasha Sutra of Srimad Bhagavatam, where it says Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. Krishna is the Bhagavan, Swayam, is the original Lord, and everyone else is following in his footsteps. So that is the essence of the book, and everything else revolves around that topic, that theme. So similarly, in Ishopanishad, the Paribhasha Sutra is this verse, which is the invocation. Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. So the Lord is complete. The source of all unlimited complete is also the Lord is complete, and everything the end is the source of everything. Everything that comes out from him are also complete, is a source of everything else. So that's the objective. So this defines the source. So, and even if this is the source and this is the essence, even if you go a roundabout way, you'll reach the same point. And this book tells about in indirect way how the Lord is the source, and Lord is one we have to approach. In the mantras 1 to 3, we saw the proprietorship of the Lord and living in harmony with God. Ishavasha principle is what we got introduced to. That word probably you have not heard before, or you have heard before, I don't know. But it comes only in this particular book, Ishavasha, which is understanding that our quota, understanding that Lord is the owner of everything, and we have a definitive quota. Understanding our quota, we need to conduct our life. Accept only things that are necessary, and not taking everything that is not our quota. That is Ishavasha. And if one can live in that consciousness, he can live for hundreds of years. If not, he will go down to darkest regions. That is mantras 1 to 3. Again, it is telling about the supremacy of the Lord in this way, in this mantras that we have saw. In the 4 to 8 verses, it tells the Mahabhagavad devotee, a vision of a devotee, where they see the Lord in different ways, inconceivable potencies, seemingly contradictions. He is steady, he is moving fast, he can run, but he is in one place. He's smaller than the small, he's greater than the greatest. And there are a lot of contradictions. He can steal garments, but yet he provides unlimited garment. It's not possible to understand. So those are the visions of only we approach. So that's why we need to approach a spiritual master. Every verse concludes, If not the verse, Prabhupada concludes, approach the spiritual master, undisturbed, Dhira. A Dhira has to be approached because he has seen the truth. He will impart that knowledge to you. So that's how verses 4 to 8 are there. And the verses 9 to 11 compares the knowledge and the destinations, what is knowledge and what is ignorance, nescience, and what is the destination, and how one should approach this knowledge and destination, ignorance, what is the destination, and how you should balance. This set of 3 verses in these 2 categories, 9 to 11, 12 to 14, explain this theme of comparing some topic. First was knowledge. The second was worship. In the knowledge, you worship, you understand what is knowledge and what is ignorance, which is nescience. Then you understand the destinations of following each. When you understand knowledge, what is the destination? When you are ignorant or in nescience, what is the destination? But it is also needed. These 2 things have to be followed. From this book's perspective, nescience is anything that is to do with the body. Anything that we do, conduct ourselves with the body is called as nescience as per this book. Even in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says karma yoga is important. We need to maintain our body as much as possible. But he didn't put in nescience. Here this book puts that as nescience. Karma kanda is put as nescience. It is also important because we need to keep these 2 together, the soul inside the body for as much as we can. So that this is the body through which we can do sadhana to make progress. So that is this 9 to 11. And in the 12 to 14, it talks about the relativity and absolute worship. What is absolute? Sambhuti. What is relative? Everything that is dependent on Sambhuti. Asambhuti is relative. And they are in different categories. One is the Supreme Lord is Sambhuti, which we all have understood from these verses. Absolute truth. Asambhuti is when you are dependent on something. All the demigods are Asambhuti. All the controllers that we know of, or the materialistic controller, conditioned controllers are also Asambhutis because they are not independent. So we need to understand what is the worship in these modes. Absolute, not mode, but worshipping the absolute and worshipping the dependent, relative. And what is the destination? Basically that there is no balance in this. I don't think so. We saw that as a balance, but it is a destination. When we worship the absolute and where we should go to get the knowledge, to an undisturbed person, a Dhira. And finally, the last section, 15 to 18, we saw the prayers of the devotee. And the first 2 verses speaks about the devotee. 15, 16, devotee is praying, is appealing to the Lord to remove that curtain. Hiranmayena patrena. He's asking the patra means a person. There is someone. Patra is a container, right? The container which is beyond the Hiranmaya. Hiranmaya is the impersonal Brahman effulgence. Because with that effulgence, you cannot see the patra behind it. So he is praying and making an appeal that remove that curtain, remove that veil, so I can see the actual person behind. That is 15th. Now, in the 16th verse, he says, give me the protection, protect me, guide me in that path. And in the 17th and 18th verses, he again prays repeatedly that please remember all the sacrifices that I have done and give me the destination at the time of death. Please remember everything, and the devotee has to pray at the time of death that I am done whatever I have done in my life. I might have done many things, but remove the sinful things, award me the things that I have done for you. You are the beneficiary. You are the one who can only award me. So he prays. The devotee is not able to pray. The devotees on behalf of the soul can also pray. We saw that 16 and 17 and 18. So that is the journey of the devotee, going from understanding that Supreme Lord is whole and complete, and understanding the Supreme Lord in various aspects, as well as praying to the Lord, making an appeal to the Lord. That is how this book has been categorized into 18 verses, 18 mantras. So, yeah, so that's what we saw. Are there any questions or are there any reflections in reading this book? You want me to go again one by one, or you want to just volunteer? We have 15 minutes.
I can start, Mataji.
Go ahead.
Mataji, I know for this one particular verse, I almost have had to read it every day ever since where they say that, the Ishavasyam, Idam Sarvam, Yat Kincha, that one, that whatever is your share, just accept that because ultimately it's all the Lord's. Like, I mean, don't. So that is something I've had to remind myself every day that at any rate, even if you're getting your quota, even your quota is not yours. It's really the Lord's, and He has assigned that for you. So, what to speak of? Because I think in the material world, especially if you're in a very, very competitive work environment, and it's like you see that there are conversations always about getting ahead, right? So, it's very easy to get into that very negative spiral about who is going up, who's not going up, when will my time come? And I think it's all just so freaking useless because ultimately it's even your quota is not yours really. So
Yeah,
for me that was the biggest
eye
takeaway.
opener. Yeah. So yeah, we can see how this subtly it is acting on our consciousness. It's a very subtle thing. Grossly, we might have changed a lot from what our eating habits, our dressing habits, our appearances might have grossly changed. But subtly, this is the purification we need to experience. Subtle purification is the devotional progress that we are making. Yeah, very nice. So this is how it should operate in our consciousness. These messages should act in our consciousness and keep reminding us, yes, our quota is there. What to speak? Who can take our quota and who can give our quota? They are only agents. Krishna is a sanctioner. So he's sanctioning it based on our desires, our qualifications. Some people are mediators and instruments. So we should not be envious of anything, of anyone, because we know this is our quota. If we understand that, we become peaceful. Anybody else? Until we finish time, I'm going to call people then. Let's do it today again.
Mataji, Hare Krishna, Danat Pranams, accept my humble obeisances. I felt like this I read both of these books a few times, but really having to learn them and go into them in such a way and with all of your guidance and teaching has been really heart opening and like she was just like the young lady was just saying, as the Kanika was saying,
Yes,
yes,
Mataji.
yes, she was saying how reading the verses, it's not just like it feels very deep. It feels very much like like he's like a Krishna is speaking or the Parampara is speaking, and it's like, okay, pay attention, and this is what you need to do. And it's really yeah, it has changed even, my the focus of my life. And it actually has allowed me also to see some of my shortcomings and have to really focus on, okay, wait a minute, that's not good. And because I'm not perfect. And so it really has helped me to grow in a really big way with your assistance. So thank you very much for all of your wonderful teaching.
Thank you, Mataji. Yes. If it has made some difference in your life, in your journey, I'm happy to be of that service. Thank you. Next, anyone else? We will cover everyone. We have 11 minutes.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes.
What stood out really and what impacted upon me was that the invocation mantra in this one was that it's a mantra that you learn growing up, and before I came to Krishna consciousness, this was one of the mantras we were always reciting at the end. At the end in any temple, you had to recite this and you had to learn it. But you didn't even know to your own self, you're just following. and you didn't realize that you were serving Krishna, from a distance. And after a while, you now becoming that when Krishna is pleased with you to a certain extent that you will start to draw closer and closer, closer to him. And it's only now that we've read this book that I've seen that, what, I've always been serving Krishna. At no point in time did I miss out in serving Krishna. So this is a real opening thing for me there when I see it now. And shows how important it is not only to, what we're reciting, but actually the meaning of it as well.
Nice, bro. Yeah. Yeah, we do many things, even some of the verses of Bhagavad Gita we might have recited from the beginning of our life without knowing their meaning. But at least that has definitely been a stepping stone. You should not underestimate the power of reciting a mantra. It's a stepping stone for us. We have come to this point only because we have done all that. Yeah, thank you. Anybody else next? 9 more minutes.
Hare Krishna Mataji, I put my realization in the chat.
Okay. Chat. WhatsApp or here?
Zoom, Mataji. Zoom.
Okay, we'll read that. Next. Who is going next? I'll stop sharing. Sorry. No need for sharing anymore. Who's going next? Krishnavadari Prabhu?
Mataji, yes, it's very clear. It says that you explained also, like we should not aim for Vaikuntha or any other places to be after our passing away, but to attain the mercy of the Lord while we die by practicing. That's why we are like having all this pure bhakti towards Lord Krishna, and all the demigods you said are some specific name you gave. I just can't remember. They are the subordinates, the demigods. So that's very clear, and the main aim is the primeval God, Lord Krishna, is to be the focus for all of us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Asambhuti.
Asambhuti, yes.
Asam.
Asambhuti and Asambhuti, yes. Thank you.
Next. Who? Vigyan Prabhu, Ramina Mataji. You guys have anything to say for Ishopanishad?
Yes, Mataji. Mataji, this first invocation, Om Purnamada Purnamida, that one, when I first came to Canada for the whole day, because at that time I have no job, nothing, like I was alone here. So I used to listen that whole day, like literally, like out of 24 hours, I used to listen maybe like almost all the time, just Om Purnamada, and then Isha Vasha Midam Sarva. So, that sloka has made a lot of difference in my life. Yeah, because when I came here, then I thought, I used to think that whatever I have to get, Krishna will give. Whatever I have to get, Krishna will give. Like from the sloka, it has transformed me a lot. So yeah, this is that's all from my side. Yeah.
Nice, very nice, Mataji.
Okay.
Vigyan Prabhu?
Mataji. So this has this. I was always comparing this Ishopanishads teachings with the teachings from physics and science. So all the principles for modern physics and science, I see it to be somehow or other derived from this, and I'll just seeing the broader perspective. And yeah, whenever I meet with anyone who is somewhat interested in spirituality, or they're from background of science, then I use this slokas and share the magnanimity of the Lord. And yeah, the principles of thermodynamics, principle of all the electromagnetics. I see it derived from this, and I share this, and they are so kind of wondered by this, struck wonder, and yeah, I find more people interested in this. And I was also personally, when I first read Isha Parishad, I was so struck with these things. So it's a
Very
great.
scientific, Prabhu. Scientific approach. What you just said. Yeah, nice. Each one has something to take away from their own perspective. Sonal Mataji, Uma Mataji, I think you are the last one, and Srinivas Prabhu and Hema Mataji. Vivek
Hare
Prabhu.
Krishna Mataji, sorry,
Go ahead.
I related very much to the invocation verse and understanding how Krishna is absolute in every way. That led the foundation for me to understand the following verses. Every time that verse haunted in my mind, the invocation verse.
Yes, that is the, like I said, it's the Moola verse for the entire book. Uma Mataji, you have anything? Vivek Karti Prabhu's.
Yeah, Mataji, the Shanti mantra, Om Sahana Bhavatu. So when I was in school, I remember we read this shloka every day. We did not know the meaning, but we had to read it, before every class, after the regular, the pledge and everything we do in the morning, we had to read this shloka. So now when I hear this, I remember that, how we were made to read all this.
Yeah, stepping stone. Next, Vivek Prabhu Karti Mataji. Srinivas Prabhu, Hema Mataji.
This invocation mantra actually helped a lot during the philosophical discussions because there are so many times when we were talking about Krishna and expansions as a Paramatma and everything, they say, okay, then what happens to original Krishna? So this always helped a lot. And while we were discussing, like it happened even yesterday night, the devotee himself gave a very beautiful example. Oh, now I understand. Like a mother gave birth to a child, mother is there, child also is there, like in full. Like when Krishna is like similar expansions. So like that, I mean, this is a very helpful, and this actually explains. I mean, I was not aware now. Today you mentioned that how Srila Prabhupada translated and established his position as a Jagat Guru, because uh, there's always a debate. People say, "Oh, Jagat Guru is only that Acharya, this Acharya," but it is very clear that, I mean, they're also Jagat Gurus. It's not that they are not. At that point, at that time, they give the message, but Prabhupada gave a complete picture, like 360, everything, like whatever all Acharyas mentioned, and actually Prabhupada, what he explained is also summarized, and he clarified everybody that all Acharyas are on the same page. Actually, only thing is they have to disclose, or they said what they said based on the time, place, and circumstances. So this first sloka is, I mean, it was uh, always, I mean, it is very helpful for so many ways, for personally also, for sharing others also, then even to debate with maybe probably people who don't believe that God has is a form, or like what we call Mayavadis actually, but that way it is.
We covered that extensive introduction because introduction was only that. I mean, probably missed that. Introduction had what Srila Prabhupada did and what other Shrutish is the recording you can see here. Yeah, thank you for sharing. Mataji, you have anything?
Nothing, Mataji. I just missed most of the classes. I know the book is like a guidance book to read Vedas. So that's the only thing, Mataji. I'm so sorry, I don't have much realization.
No problem. Okay, so we're going to conclude here at the top of the hour. Thank you all very much for going through this journey with me. I mean, if there is anything that I can be of service for you beyond this class, you can always reach me on WhatsApp. I'm always open. If there is any question or anything that you want to approach me for anything. Thank you. for this journey together, and I look forward to meeting you or some of you in person. I keep meeting some of you, bumping into some of you in person in the temples, but would like to meet all of you.
Thank you so much, Mataji, for everything.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Mataji, for lovely classes.
Yes.
Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji.
Please bless me so I can continue my services. Keep me in prayers. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.